For today's assignment, we're going to practice obliques. And it's probably easiest to do obliques just from letters. So this is my last name, and I wrote it out. And to make it look three-dimensional, all I have to do is take the corners of them and go back between the corners of the squares. I go back at a 45-degree angle, which is corner to corner on a square in your graph paper. And I get an oblique style drawing. And if I want to make it look next step, I would shade it. Could shade the sides darker, like this. Remember, I was saying that we would shade things kind of lighter gray on the front view and darker on the right side. And I'm kind of making it darker than you would need to for the right side, I guess. So now that E looks way better, and I could bring the rest of my letters here to look the same. All I'm going is just going back at an angle. For objects like this, it might be a little bit harder because they're rounder. With that one, it's the shading that is going to bring it out and make it look more 3D. Well, let me not shade the whole thing. Let me just kind of continue to show you how to angle this back. Like in this example here, it's not on the corner, it's right next to it, so I would go back and try to meet it at that same point. And if you're trying to do a curve like this in here, I want to try and get a few like reference points to kind of get the same kind of arch. Like this same arch will be the same arch back there as I draw it out. Like the same thing for this S. If I want to draw it out, I want to go back with the same angle. That might help me know where to draw the S in space, where I need it to fit. Like this point here would be there. As I kind of work on shaping that out. You don't have to draw very boxy shapes like that. You can do your initials, you can do your last name, your first name. I want you to give me several letters. They don't even, I want you to start with letters, but they don't have to be boxy letters like this. Like, let's say you wanted to do your signature. Like my E is all over the place. You know, like if I wanted to do a very cursive-y looking E, it'd probably look something like that. As I go into the rest of my letters, they kind of disappear. And maybe I'll try to do it a little bit better. So that's my So then I would come back at angles and kind of try to make this look three-dimensional as best as possible. So you could try to do something like that where you're angling back to make that oblique style, and then shading it kind of looks like that looks horrible. Or you could do an object, you know, like the greatest superhero that ever existed could be an option, maybe, possibly. You could do that. Trying to go back not as far. So you've got like an endless amount of options here that you can do to kind of make your drawing look really nice with oblique style. It's important to try and keep the right angles, else it looks off. So that one would be kind of hidden in the back. We would see this one. There we go, something like that. And then you'd go over and shade it. So you can make any shape that you want. Any, I just think letters might be the best to kind of start with. Kind of explore with it and have fun with it. If you want to try to like draw it the way that you write things, that would also be kind of a fun exercise to do, to kind of make things look the way that you draw them instead of very boxy letters. The important thing is to keep consistent angles. And then shade it so that it looks correct. So I'll leave you to have fun with that. And welcome to Ask Me Questions. And that's it.